Hopefully this doesn't spaz out. I kind of have a feeling it might, unfortunately. Because, you know, on a Friday, things just can't go well. Things always have to be sucky at the end of the week. Let's see what happens. I made it kind of just in time for market open. Kind of. Let's see how many people show up. And how much this works. Go live with the market open in 1 minute. All right, I'm going to try to time it. Let's do 10 more seconds. And now the market is open. Let's see if I definitely got that wrong, but let's see. Let's see. All right, fixed. Okay, let's see how it happens. Let's see how it goes. I'm really interested to see if this green rally holds up. That's the question. Will the green rally hold up? That's my question. And if it doesn't, then we know what's going to happen. All right, there it is. Oh, I got it right on time. Perfect. Boom, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Bell, 50 cents. All right, here we go. This is the market. It's green. Oh, am I showing it to you? No, I wasn't showing it to you. Oh, my goodness. What a Friday morning. All right, we're here. Boom. It's green. Green. Not crazy. Not too crazy. Let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's back above 30. That's great for BTC. Tesla should be up, right? Hold on, where's Bitcoin? All right, 30,000. Tesla should be up on this Twitter thing, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. Tesla, 5%. Boom. 765. That's perfect. Perfect. Rachel says, so pleased I didn't buy into the Twitter deal. That might just have finished me off today. Yeah, if you're trying to do the risk arbitrage on Twitter, that would have been tough. SPY is good. Look, the official way we're in a bear market on SPY is if we are in 384. 384. That's the bear market for SPY. So we are not in SPY. I know my hair looks crazy, guys, today. I had a decent amount of sleep. I slept at I would say 1. I woke up at around 8:30. The new Kendrick Lamar album came out last night. I couldn't even finish it because I was just so tired, man. Okay, Snowflake at 148. Not too crazy. I know Datadog reported today. They did pretty good. Twitter. Where does Twitter open? $40, down 10%. So the market's like, huh? Is this deal going to happen? Is it? I mean, obviously the market is feeling that the deal is not going to happen. The question is going to be, how low does this go? I mean, Twitter should not be more than $30, guys. Like, Twitter is, it's such a beautiful product with such a horrible execution, and that's just kind of how it is. I mean, they did $1 billion in revenue. They misreported their user growth, all that. I mean, it's a great product, and I don't even blame them that it's their fault they can't monetize too much, but in this market, paying $40 for Twitter is rough, especially when for 180 you can get Facebook that does, what is it, almost 100 times more revenue than Twitter. No, about 40 times more revenue. Yeah, or 30 times. So Twitter does $4 billion in revenue. Facebook does 120, so 30 times more revenue. Wild. Apple 125 is last year's resistance, which ultimately becomes support, or 2020's resistance, which usually becomes support. So, you know, it would be interesting to see if we can get back to 120. That would be something. Oh, Palantir, look at this. We're up 7.5%. Just got the noti. That's not bad, right? That should make our Fridays a little better. Not too shabby. Now, granted, do I think this is going to last? Absolutely not. Sorry to say that. I do not think this is going to last at all. But we'll see what happens. Some of you like my hair, some of you don't like my hair. It's okay, because the ladies love it. So, that's why when I was a sophomore in high school, my mom was like, "Why can't you shave your beard?" Because she thought I looked like a terrorist. I'm just gonna be very honest. That's why when Tom makes those jokes, it doesn't affect me because my mom made those jokes as well. So it's kind of just how it is. But anyway, let me check something real quick. That's kind of why it doesn't matter that much when people make those jokes. Okay, let me do something real quick. Now, what do you guys think about this Twitter deal? Do you think it's getting done or not? Let me open up Twitter real quick. Let me see what's going on here. I personally am now getting more skeptical than I was. I was when they secured a 50. Now, granted, I originally said the deal's not going to happen. I said this a while ago, and I had to eat my words when they finally announced the financing. But I did say I don't think this deal is happening. I said this on video a while ago. But you know, I mean, I guess we'll see if it does happen or if it doesn't happen. Elon trying to figure out what excuse will let him walk away without paying $1 billion breakup fee. Now, again, in the previous live that I did for 5 minutes before everything started crashing, this is very true, right? So, it's important to recognize that Elon has to pay $1 billion breakup fee. Like when you initiate a conversation, you have to pay to get out of that conversation, especially if it's registered with the SEC and all that stuff. So, if that's the case, the question simply becomes, did he need a real excuse, like a really good excuse at the end of the day to get out of this? And if he did, then maybe the lack of user growth is a good excuse. Or the lack of user misreporting is a good excuse. We're going to close past 8 today. I hope. Palantir to $1.88. Well, I mean, we will see if that happens. Who's it going to go to? Elon Musk, yes. Let's look at CNBC's coverage on this as well. We'll hear what they're saying. But, so he says he's still committed to acquisition. That's the key thing here. Still committed to acquisition. Let's go to Webull. Palantir. So Tesla's at 754. Palantir, where we at? 765. Yeah, already down from 790. Again, one thing I do want to get everyone to be just cautious of is that there is no catalyst for a rally other than the market has had a rough week. That's it. So any green we're seeing today, it's in a sea of red that we had since Monday. I mean, we were at $11 on Monday, and you know what I mean? Like, so I think until the S&P hits 380, it's going to be hard to recover fully. I do think it's kind of like a Band-Aid. We got to get there and rip it off. The Fed also said yesterday that there is going to be a hard landing. This is a really good, I mean, it was interesting stuff to hear from them. So, look, Powell says he cannot guarantee a soft landing as the Fed looks to control inflation. So, he was just asked straight up, and he was like, I don't think this is going to happen. So, a soft landing is really just getting back to 2% inflation while keeping the labor market strong. And it's quite challenging to accomplish that right now for a couple reasons. Why is it hard to challenge that? Because to get to 2% inflation, you've got to decrease demand. The problem is if people aren't going to work, there's 11 million jobs that are unfilled right now, then employers have to raise wages. And when you have to raise wages, that means like people have to raise the price of a lot of other things, especially because the value of the dollar starts to inflate because now people are getting paid like $50 to do stuff that's not as productive. That's kind of how the economy works. So if you're getting, you know, and it's just more from a macro perspective, right? Productive is subjective and stuff like that. But if you're doing certain things that you're making a lot of money for, or if there's so much demand that you have to pay people a lot more money because there's no other employees, then you can have something like a wage price spiral, which is not the best thing in the world, especially if inflation is at 8.3% and consumer demand is not going down. So to kind of do this, you kind of have to have a recession, right? You kind of have to crash the market so that people stop spending. But then you want to take into account people who are unemployed. And so there's just a lot of different issues here. So to get it to be a soft landing, honestly, I think the only thing that solves this is supply chain shortages. If you can get that to happen, but the problem is Shanghai's on a major lockdown. If you can't solve that, then it's kind of rough. So, I mean, it's a very, very difficult situation for Powell to be in, but this is what he's saying. Elon says he's still committed to the acquisition, and Coinbase is up 15%. Amit, what are we doing as a community when Palantir hits 100? I'm going to Vegas. I don't know about you guys. I will tell you guys where to meet me, and we're going to have a hell of a night. Side note, I know that Palantir is going to be the backbone of the industry during the next technological revolutions. I believe that as well. Coinbase up 15%. Look, it's a good day. It's so interesting because it's like the market is so weird. We all, like, let's say everyone collectively agreed for the past day after everything that happened that crypto is a scam. Well, then why would you buy Coinbase? It doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying imagine the market as a whole was like, crypto sucks. Coinbase, we gave it so much value because we thought crypto was a good thing. We changed our mind. You know, we just don't care. Crypto sucks. It's like, okay. But now when the market's green, and this is why buy the dip kind of like makes sense, because the market is just this, it's like this child, bro. It's just like, it'll just go whatever direction it feels like it wants to go to today. When it's green, everything's green. Like, it's hard to find red when it's all green. Like, when it's actually quite predictable at some level. I mean, Twitter is red. There's an outlier there. But outside of that, everything's green. Even if it's not green at the highest of levels, everything just goes green. So Coinbase is up 15%. So if you bought it 2 days ago, you have 15% arbitrage. Look at this Spotify, above $102, up 5%. Google, up 2%. I mean, like, it's such a child. It's like, if we agreed that crypto was a scam collectively, and speaking metaphorically for the market, you wouldn't buy this just because it's a green day. Nothing has changed about Coinbase's revenues, about its profits, about the fact that crypto sucks. Again, I'm saying this as if we, like, the market collectively agreed like that, because the market punished Coinbase to such an extent. So it's just so interesting. Kathy sold a boatload and bought heavy into coin. Yes, she did. Amit, I'm flying you to England when it hits 250, remember. I will see you there. When Palantir hits, we will be so wealthy that if we go to Vegas, we'll lose all their money. That's a good point, Palantir long. That is a great point. Imagine we make like $5 million and then we just like go lose it. Why not use YouTube revenue to buy the dip? So again, let me take an opportunity to explain my situation here. I have a startup. If anyone's interested in investing or anyone has some disposable income they're trying to get into, email me, amit@dailypalantir.com. I'm saving up my money, whether it's YouTube, Patreon, my income, for going all in on my startup because I need a salary and I'm not going to have a job. So I'm not going to have a stable salary because I'm quitting my job at the end of May. Going all in. However, as I say that, man, do I kind of want to buy some stocks. Like, oh man, like, I'm going to have a decent amount saved by the end of June. And I'm just thinking, if I take half of it and put it into the market and I do well, you know, I could sell it a year later if I really needed the cash. Cause, like, goodness gracious, like, but I'm also like, but I'm also trying to be a seasoned financial investor and recognize that this could just be a dead cat bounce. Like, I don't think we've hit the worst of the worst. I really don't. There's just no catalyst. If inflation is not decreasing at the level, the PPI, the producer price index is like big now, it went up 11%. So it's like increasing still. It's not decreasing. Which is bad. And then supply chains are not getting better anytime soon. It's not even just trying to like put out FUD. It's like actually looking at the macro dynamics that are in place and then looking at a one green day on Friday and being like, you know, there's no FOMO is what I'm trying to say. I don't have FOMO because I didn't buy the dip the past 2 days. So, you know, that's just how it is. I own 2,000 shares of Palantir. You can sell if you need the cash. Exactly. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, I could sell. Putting market for the short run is a fool's game. That's also my, like, if I want to, the other thing I've been noticing is that if I want to invest, I want to have heavy positions, right? So let's say I only have 10,000 that I can put into the market. I can either do 5 $2,000 positions, 2 $5,000 positions, 3 $3,000 positions, or 1 $10,000 position. Ideally, I want to do 1 $10,000 position because I want a return, right? Like, I'm not trying to play games here. So I would have to pick one stock that I really think is undervalued and then just put 10 grand in there. And all right, so let's pose that as a question. If you had to pick one stock that you had only 10 grand to load up the dip on for the next year, so you expect it to go up pretty decently in the next year, what would it be? Amit, what is your profession aside of YouTube? I have a consulting firm, and in that consulting firm, I basically consult with clients. It's my own business. I started it a couple years ago. It has to do with public speaking and communication, so I teach people how to better communicate, speak. I work with some corporations, some private clients, stuff like that. What do you guys think? Which one would you pick? AMD? Okay. I think I might pick... I already picked Palantir, so forget Palantir. I think I might pick the S&P 500. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's actually an interesting thing. I want to say Apple, but I'm also just like, Apple. It's like, look at Shopify rebounding back up to 400s. It's a green day. I'm an island. I'm a green day boy. But I don't know if this is going to last. That's the thing. DNA, Tesla, my Tesla. Bro, I was going to say Tesla, but I'm like, Michael, did you say Unity? Bro, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, my guy. Nah, QQQ, I don't know. His poor name is Amit Long Talker. Oatly for $3, Google. Yo, Google might be the thing, but I don't know if I could get it like a 1x by next year. I'm looking for a stock that could at least, or a 2x, right? At least it can double. Oatly at 330. How about Tattooed Chef? Should that be it? AMD or Nvidia, AREC, AMD, Tesla. Will the market recover in a year? I mean, I think so. It better. Yo, if this market doesn't recover in a year, I'm going up to the NASDAQ with there's this great joke Tom had. He's like, if someone says, he always says, if someone says something stupid, take your hand back, and just slap the crap out of them. I would go up to the market myself. I would walk in. I would look at the people in the New York Stock Exchange, and I'd be like, can you guys fix this? Like, it's been a year, my guy. Like, I'm not used to bear markets for more than a year. I'm not used to it for more than a couple months. Like, I'm tired of this shit. We need to fix this. Blackberry? I've heard about Blackberry. Man, I don't know about... Look at this. Blackberry was at 148 in 2008. And obviously it's declined. What does Blackberry even sell anymore, bro? Does Blackberry even sell anything? Blackberry. What do they sell? Enterprise security? Blackberry transitioned into a security firm? Yo, that's crazy. What? Yeah, bear markets are 14, 18 months on average. Bro, I don't care. Fix it. Don't make it that long. I'm tired of this shit. I'm just kidding. I know it's going to be rough. Blackberry's a cybersecurity. You remember when they used to sell phones, right? All of us are old enough to know when Blackberry sold like really dope phones. I mean, my friends had them. Look at this. Well, there's still Blackberries out there. Look at this. These were the Blackberries, bro. These were legit, bro. I remember if you had these things, you were so cool. Also, the T-Mobile Sidekick. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I begged my dad to get me that. The T-Mobile Sidekick. T-Mobile Sidekick. I love that phone, and I really wanted it, but I couldn't get it. I thought you had like a little laptop in your pocket. It was so dope. Look at this. It was so cool, bro. It was so cool. It was so dope. Okay, anyway. So, wow. Blackberry's a cybersecurity firm. So they... Look at their products, bro. They talk about a freaking pivot. They went from selling consumer devices to services. Wow. Hey, maybe they're a play. Who knows? Maybe they're. Maybe they are. Tesla up 5%. Palantir almost touching 8. Dave, you might be right about this. You might be right. I had a Blackberry. Blackberry is a classic case of why Apple may not be the best forever if someone comes along and innovates. You know what's the interesting thing about this comment? Shout out to WTF Finance in the chat. Apple, I've always wondered how much more can they do from this phone? Like, not as in their products or nothing. I'm just like, are we going to have iPhone 67 one day? There's no way, right? That's not happening, right? Like, there's no way that's happening, right? That just can't happen. Like, I try to think. I'm just like, let's look at Apple's chart. In terms of market news, guys, today, the market's just green. So there's nothing that crazy. The market's just purely green. Everything is pretty much up except Twitter, but things are up. NASDAQ is up 2%. That's great. It's a nice little relief on a Friday. And Friday is usually a sell-off. Now, we'll see what happens at the end of the day because Fridays tend to sell off, but it's not too bad. So Apple, right? You see this chart, right? Let me scroll this back. This is the chart of Apple. This is beautiful. This is phenomenal. But at what level does innovation become... Like, I just don't get when people like Apple needs to innovate more. I'm like, bro, they made this thing. Like, what more can they do? Like, I don't get how much more you want out of a company. So to me, I'm like... I'm just like, so is there going to be another iPhone? Like, iPhone 14, iPhone 15, iPhone 16, iPhone 7? Like, I don't get... At what point does it stop? At what point does it just stop? Because if the market finds out that Apple's done making iPhones in terms of like new editions of them and they're just sticking with the ones they have, well, the market's going to destroy their stock. I mean, they are going to demolish their stock because they're like, all right, iPhone was the biggest thing that Apple's ever created and now it's gone. However, if Apple does create more iPhones, it's a question of how much more innovative can you get? Like, it gets to the point where you're stretching it, bro. Like, I don't even think I want more innovation out of this. This thing does everything I need. What more could it, like, I don't need more stuff. And don't give me this whole metaverse goggles, like, screw that. Like, I don't care about that. I'm talking about the actual thing you use, the phone. Like, it can just be crazy, bro. And I know we're like, hey, we want Apple to innovate. We want companies to do more. I get it. I'm just like, with the iPhone, I just don't get what more they can do. Now, obviously, they're probably cooking up some stuff. But it's just a question to the point of like, what point does it just like stop? And like, will we actually have iPhone 74? Could that be a thing? 74 years from now, every single year, Apple with a new phone. Really? Like, and so maybe someone, but then it's a question of, does Apple fall off? I don't think Apple can fall off because everyone's using this phone. So like, what is gonna stop Apple? Like, I don't get it. They're going to make smart cars in houses. Yes, I do agree they're going to go into different industries, like smart cars. The question is, are they going to release new phones every year on top of that? That's the thing where I'm just like, at what point do they just realize, hey, we made a really good phone? People said the same thing about radios and VCRs. I agree. Look, I'm not trying to be anti-innovation here. I'm just saying, if you're not talking about a new form of connecting with the world in terms of like a goggle or a metaverse type of headset, then I don't know what more they do to the iPhone. But I guess that's why they're Apple, and I'm analyzing them. I mean, they'll figure it out, and I think they have to figure it out because if they don't release a new iPhone, I mean, their stock will tank. And that's always been the scary thing in the back of my head about Apple. Google, by the way, is up 1.8%. The scary thing about Apple to me has been like, well, what if they just can't make a new phone, and then the market's like, all right, well, why would we invest in them? Granted, I think they'll figure out ways to innovate and stuff like that, but you know, that's always been my fear. All right, let's see what CNBC is saying on this Twitter Elon Musk thing. And then we'll get back into it. Let's see what they're saying. Here we go. Let's do this one.
Liam, we need your steady hand here. You've been through a number of cycles. I'm not calling you old. We had lunch about 20 years ago, I remember. But this is a scary time for many people. What's your best advice to clients right now?
So I think there's a lot of talk about why this is happening. I think the reasons for the decline are pretty well picked over. I mean, the dominant influence is obviously the inflation pressures and the Federal Reserve reversing course. But I think, you know, a plan of action is probably the most important thing for investors to have now because, you know, we went through a very extended period of time where conditions were very different. And as a result, it sets up a bit of a recency bias where people feel like they're constantly searching for where's the bottom. And that I don't think is the most healthy approach on a day-to-day basis. You should just recognize that conditions have changed and there are steps that you should take proactively to make sure that your account and the assets that you're managing are in good shape to be able to handle a higher volatility environment. And this environment isn't likely to change anytime very soon. We're having some undulations up and down. That's
okay. I have to stop this real quick because I see Strongman Personal Finances in the chat. I am debating him, guys, by the way, tonight, 10 p.m. It'll be a fun debate. This guy is, I'll just show you guys his channel. Why not? I mean, I'm being on his channel anyway. So, he has an interesting type of content. We'll get back to the Twitter thing in a second, but I saw him in the chat. I'm like, let me respond to him. There we go. Palantir stock live debate. Chris, you better not. Good
afternoon, everybody.
Better not be wearing a shirt. I want to make sure I see the belly during this debate. Where's a video with him in his belly? This guy basically does videos without his shirt. It's quite interesting. Oh yeah, oh there it is. Oh, this one's you're not fully naked, but I'm insecure, bro. VT going to zero. VT is his stock. This is the stock that this guy likes. It's an ETF, right? Vanguard Total World Stock ETF. So how much is it down year to date? It's not that crazy. I mean, it's down, obviously, because the market's down, but you're not down 80% on Palantir or nothing like that. This strongman guy is an interesting guy. Admit I can't hear you, but I'm excited. Look, the way he's building his channel is basically by dunking on all the big YouTubers. It's a strategy, I guess, if that's his plan. As you can see, there's a lot of Tom Nash. There's a lot of Jeremy. There's a lot of me, Kevin, in the videos. Hey, I respect his hustle, man. I really, really do respect his hustle. So it's gonna be fun today. He says I have a job like a loser. I like his personality, man. I know. I think a lot of you guys like don't like him because he's like mean to like growth stocks and he's like mean to the other YouTubers. But I like his personality because he's funny with it. And it's all just a game at the end of the day. It's not that serious to me. So it'll be fun to see him debate tonight on Friday. We're going to talk about Palantir. By the way, he likes Palantir. He wants to buy it. He just doesn't like the share dilution, which I understand. Not liking the share dilution. You know, so we'll talk later tonight. There's basically Affirm is up 30%. Let's go Affirm. Where is Affirm? Oh, Robinhood. I forgot. I got to give you guys some news on Robinhood. All right, Affirm is up 30%. I don't look too much into buy now, pay later. I don't fully get it. But I know this stock was at like 150 at one point, so it's down pretty bad. Decent recovery today. Robinhood, I don't know if you guys heard the news on Robinhood. Up 21%. Well, why is Robinhood up 21%? Well, this is why. Here we go. Robinhood shares popped more than 20% after hours last night after Sam Bankman-Fried buy 7.6% stake. This is the market where people are just buying a ton of stakes. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried is the owner of FTX. FTX is a crypto exchange. It's valued at about $30 billion. This guy made it. He's like, it's like a Coinbase competitor essentially. So Sam Bankman-Fried bought 7% or about $500 million into Robinhood. So, well, that's interesting because why would a crypto billionaire buy? I think his company on the private market is valued more than Robinhood on the public market. Why would you buy Robinhood? Well, the argument I think he said was that they're an attractive investment. And look, they have a consumer social play. They've gamified investing, so it's kind of pretty cool. It's very interesting. Oh, the guy that pushes Ponzi schemes. Yeah, look, this thing is so interesting, man. We're either going to see crypto super blow up or not super blow up and have some legitimacy in different areas. But he's now, just like Elon bought 9% of Twitter, this guy's bought 7% of Robinhood. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a hostile takeover. I think he just wanted to own it just to have it in his back pocket. But it is not out of the question for me to imagine FTX buying Robinhood because it has the consumer social base and then just flipping it into a full crypto play, along with stocks as well. I mean, FTX is more valuable than Robinhood. Like FTX valuation, I believe, is pretty good. Look at this, $32 billion. They pumped $500 million in a Series C to bump it at $32 billion. October 21, it was valued at $25 billion. If we go to Robinhood, their market cap is $8 billion. So theoretically, I mean, if they use their shares in FTX, they could buy them out. Probably not now, but it could happen. Palantir above 8. There we go. We did it. Up 10%. We did it. $8. Thank goodness we got to $8, man. Get loans against equity without crashing. Yeah. Benefits of being a public company. LOL, can't get crashed during these times. Yes, that's true. If you're a private company, you don't got to worry about crashing because you don't need to. That's why Instacart, by the way, is going public. And who's used Instacart? Put in the chat if you've used Instacart. I've never used these guys. They are grocery delivery. They're like Uber for groceries. Look at this. They see all the stores in New Jersey. That's where I am. Stop and Shop, Walgreens. Boom. They're all partnered with Instacart. If I want something, I can just go get it. There are so many businesses in the world, man. So many companies doing so much cool stuff. They're going public at $24 billion. Which is interesting because $24 billion is a lot of money to go public. And in this environment, that's why I'm like, why are they trying to go public right now? Why can't they just like, I mean, why would you want to go public? Wouldn't you want to relax while the market is kind of horrible right now? I don't know. I guess that's the thing. Look at Tesla, 770. Okay, we're going up on Tesla. We're going up. Tesla is going up. All right, let's get back to CNBC. I know I interrupted that. Let's find a good video on CNBC. What's some good content we can find on CNBC on Twitter? I saw a video in the morning on it. I think here we go. That's 5 minutes. We need to see all 5 minutes. Let's see what Coinbase CFO has to say. Let's hear about them.
Late last night, I spoke with Coinbase's CFO, Alicia Haas, in an exclusive interview and started out by asking her what Coinbase is telling investors and their employees about what has been happening this week and right now.
So to investors, I first say thank you. Thank you for holding on. Thank you for believing in Coinbase. Thank you for believing in crypto. And we are going to build a great company. We're going to build long-term wealth for you with our products and our services and our...
Yo, bro, when someone says that, we are going to build a long-term... Like, so I have a startup, right? And I have to pitch investors. I've been pitching investors for the past 3-4 months and hoping to finish by the end of June. And so, like, there's a certain way you relay confidence, bro. When you're a suit, the way she is, and you're like, we are going to build long-term wealth for shareholders. It's like, bro, shut the fuck. Like, no, bro. Like, I wouldn't even say that to my investors. I'm not like, I'm going to build you long-term wealth if you invest in my startup. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, 99% chance I'm gonna lose your money, but there's a 1% chance I'm really gonna make you a lot of money if I succeed, because that's what it is to invest in a startup. And they have to be okay with that. They have to be okay. They have to know that's the circumstances. With this Coinbase thing, I think she's a little too confident saying, we are going to build long-term wealth. Now, I know she has to say this, but the way crypto works up and down, you cannot just, like, I think, be so secure. And if you are so secure, that's fine. But you've got to display it in a different way. Even when I'm super confident about my startup, I'm saying it in a way that caveats, well, if we're able to have our user growth, I mean, the possibilities are exponential in terms of, like, there's just so, it's more nuanced versus I'm going to make you so rich and build you long-term wealth. It's like, motherfucker, your stock's down 80% because you're relying on this crypto thing. It's like, I don't know, I'm skeptical when people say it like that.
Customers that we will add and introduce 1 billion people to crypto. And to our employees, Andrew, our employees are fired up. We are here to prove ourselves. We are here to build great products and services. And we think that we have the opportunity to become a generational company. And our employees are excited to show what we can be.
But just take us inside the room, though.
Look, Andrew's like, all right, cool, but like, what's actually happening right now?
Watching the stock fall the way it has, watching
Yes.
crypto fall the way it has, I imagine has taken some emotional toll.
It never feels good to watch stocks fall and to watch crypto.
He was like, tell me how you're feeling about the stock. She's like, well, it never feels good. It's like, of course it doesn't feel good. That's wild. I think Andrew's trying to be like, yo, why is this happening? Like, how's this going?
But you have to remember that this has been 10 years. Coinbase is 10 years old this month. And we've navigated through crypto cycles. Bitcoin fell.
That's a good answer, actually. That's a really good answer.
80% in 2017 to 2018. It fell again in 2015. So we've been through these turns, and we've always come out stronger. We've always built to new heights, and we've always built to more diversified products and services. So perhaps people who come to crypto have a stronger metal, but we know how to navigate through bumpy markets, and this is one more that we will navigate through and come out the other side stronger and better.
What are you seeing this week specifically? Users have come down, obviously, but are you seeing people move their accounts out of Coinbase? Are you seeing people move their accounts to private wallets?
So these last couple of weeks have been really volatile, and so we've seen a lot of activity in crypto. But in Q1, I'm going to focus just on what we had on Q1. Prices came down, but if you noticed, our assets on platform were just as strong as they were in Q3, and so they just came down off the Q4 highs. We didn't see great outflows. We continue to have very strong market share in the total crypto assets that we store on our platform. And we're not seeing assets move in great numbers to self-hosted wallets. We are seeing that, though, and that's an exciting trend because we're excited for the growth of decentralized finance, and we're excited for people to be able to explore NFTs, which are largely in DeFi.
Is she? I've got a lot to say about that. All right, let's continue.
But what we're seeing is people just moving their money in between centralized crypto, decentralized crypto, and back again, and continuing to explore. There has been a flight to quality, so no different than we're seeing in the equity markets. A lot more money has moved into Bitcoin and Ethereum and away from the long tail. We're also seeing it in stablecoins now, where money is flowing more into USDC or Binance Coin as there's been some instability in UST and other. But it's been a bit of a flight to quality, a bit of a flight to liquidity, and those are consistent themes that we see with the broader overall stock market.
All right. I mean, is there anything else?
How concerned are you, by the way, that crypto,
All right, let's hear the last question.
and Bitcoin in particular, hasn't been this uncorrelated asset that in large part
This is a good question.
was its promise?
It's true. It's true. We've definitely seen it trade more in line with stocks and more in line with the NASDAQ and tech stocks in particular over the last few quarters. And I think that we're still learning, quite candidly, about these correlations, as a lot of institutional money has come into crypto. And with the broader volatility that we're seeing, we've seen strong correlations. It's been such a short time compared to Bitcoin's life that we've seen this correlation, though. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if this will continue or if this will break at some point in time. So
that's, I mean, I get the answer, but I don't get it. Let's let it finish, though.
Definitely correlated over the recent months, but to be determined for the long term.
We talk a lot on the show about whether the NASDAQ is the dog or the tail relative to crypto, or if crypto is the dog or the tail. What are you seeing in terms of leverage, in terms of forced selling?
So we are just a spot market, and we do not have leverage on our platform. So it's hard for me to take a broader view because we are crypto only, and I only see one side of the trade, one piece of the market.
Guys, I'm getting a call from Tom Nash right now. We're going to answer this live. I'm going to tell him I'm on speaker. Yo,
what's going on?
Yo, I'm on my live stream right now. I just put you on speaker, by the way, if you want to say hi.
Can you put me on speaker?
Yeah, you're on speaker right now. Can we get your live reaction to this Twitter thing? I saw your video on it. This is kind of crazy, bro. This is kind of wild.
Who cares, bro? We're up 9% after another 9% yesterday. We're up like 18% over the past 48 hours. Who cares about Twitter, bro?
Yeah, no, this Palantir is at, what is it, $8 right now? It's at 8.03.
Palantir is rampaging. I mean, the entire market is up, but Palantir is just wild, bro. It's been the number one stock yesterday, number one stock today so far.
Yeah, no, that is amazing.
Insane. This is insane. Now they have evidence we're friends. I just told you I forgot that you're streaming.
Yeah.
Stream, I'll call you later.
All right, I'll call you back in like.
Fuck the haters. Fuck the haters.
All right, I'll call you back in like 10 minutes. Bye.
Okay.
See you. All right, so that was kind of crazy in terms of the Coinbase thing. So let me talk about that. So the Coinbase thing, okay? I hope you guys heard it. Did you guys hear it? Yeah. Okay, you guys heard it a little bit. I'm looking at that. The Coinbase thing. So what was I going to say? The thing that's really interesting about this, right, is that I think the NFTs thing is, I don't think that's really going to happen. And as a result of not thinking, as a result of the NFT thing, I don't think that's going to be a big deal. So if the NFT isn't a big deal, then that's not going to be big. So that's number one. Number two is I don't understand why there's any need for Coinbase to rally today. And this is where I'm skeptical here, right? If the market shot down Coinbase so much to 66, what is the reason or to like 40? What is the reason it's spiking back up? You can say it's undervalued, but like maybe. Otherwise, I don't necessarily know why, it's going up. So at that point, I'm like, all right, what did the CFO say to give me confidence? Well, they said NFTs. I'm like, I don't care about that. Then they didn't really talk about how they're going to transition their business model from fees based. I'm like, okay, so how are they going to make money? I don't know. Then they talked about how crypto is volatile, and they said crypto's performing with the NASDAQ and with growth stocks, which means that's not good, right? The whole point of buying Coinbase and crypto is to get a hedge or some type of inverse relationship from growth stocks. It's like, okay, that's not happening either. So it's like, if that's not happening either, then I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think that's like, I don't know why you would buy this. Like, what is the value or the growth prospects of this? Unless you're super bullish on crypto at the end of the day. Unless you're super bullish on crypto. Same could be said for Palantir, though. Yeah, but Palantir just reported earnings and they grew 31% year over year. Like, that's the difference, right? Coinbase reported earnings and on all their metrics, they suck. Palantir is closer to GAAP profitability. Palantir reduced stock-based compensation. Palantir is growing 30% year over year. Now, guidance a little bit lower, but we'll see how they're going to beat it. So you could make the argument that Palantir got sold off not because of bad earnings, but because of the macro. Coinbase got sold off because literally people aren't trading crypto anymore, and they're not making that much money because people aren't trading something that is worth $60,000 because it's only $30,000, and they make 1% off the money. So, and their valuation was sky high as well. Yeah, I agree. So, that's my thing on that. I just, Someone brought a Coinbase at 170. Yeah, man, it's just like I'm really skeptical about Coinbase, man. I don't. But again, I'm more skeptical about Bitcoin and crypto in general. And again, it can have huge swings. I feel like I'm more seasoned to not be into the FOMO now anymore. Like this whole crypto thing that blew up with Luna, I can't explain the whole thing because I don't even understand the whole thing. But like, man, it showed people that things are not that amazing with it right now. Things are not that amazing with it right now. Uber's at 24. Uber's recovering pretty well. Not too bad. Stop Emit crushing my crypto dreams. To be fair, it does provide greater beta than the NASDAQ. Yeah, it's more volatile, right? That's the problem. If Palantir recovers before my paycheck comes, I'm going to be mad. Growth, cash flow, and profitability is the king during these times. Let's go Palantir. Yeah, I mean, and Palantir is getting close. They have free cash flow. They're getting close to profitability. They're growing. They still set 30% year over year. Let's see if they can execute, man. At the end of the day, they've got to execute. They also released a new video on their channel. I haven't watched it yet, but it's Palantir in the UK. You guys want to watch together? It's 2 minutes. Let's watch it together. Okay, let's see it.
Across England.
My first 6.
I joined our NHS deployment and we just sort of finished a successful pilot with Chelsea and Westminster Trust where we were able to reduce the inpatient wait list by 28%. And we were given the task of to take that solution and to deploy it to 30 trusts.
You're talking about the NHS?
Across England.
My first 6 months in the job, I worked on 6 different projects for 6 different government clients in 6 different countries.
My very first deployment was with Ferrari, and specifically Scuderia Ferrari, which is the Formula 1 team. And the first race of the season is in Australia, but we won. I say we, they, but we felt like part of it.
I was recently on a project with Airbus to build out a solution that helps them build more planes per year.
Actually knocking out something that will help transform our pandemic response.
These employees look like they're going to be rich, bro. They're like, yeah, we're going to be rich.
It's by far the most incredible.
Chris said that looks like young Sachin. Bro, come on, Chris.
Project I got to lead in my career.
So at Palantir, we have really small, lean teams, and that allows us to have a huge amount of responsibility.
It's the creative ground where you get to just apply your best efforts, fail gloriously, learn from it, try again, make stuff happen.
Definitely being a forward deployed software engineer and then using your technical skills to then solve a problem.
You really just see a problem and solve it right away without thinking twice or asking for permission.
I think Palantir is the only place where you can do the depth of engineering, but then also have rapid impact and the high velocity, working over a weekend with like your friends and teammates to like get something really important done.
I get to work with customers and then I also get to build the solution.
I would honestly say like the growth opportunity that I had within Palantir, something that I wouldn't be able to do elsewhere. Take on the things that I think I can do and take them to the next level.
There's an incredible pool of people here who are both extremely social, but also extremely talented and smart.
Sort of a place where we do a lot of R&D. We're pushing the product to its edge.
In fact, I have found that Palantir, surprisingly to me, is the chattiest company I have ever been at and will probably ever be at as well.
We have product development, we have business development, we have internal teams, we have lawyers, we have all sorts. That creates a wonderful community.
Not bad, man. I like watching the inside stuff just so we can get a better look of like how they're doing. By the way, Palantir is up big. I don't know who bought 750 calls, but if you did, you are feeling it. Look at this bad boy run. $8, 10 cents, 10%. Now I know the whole market's up. And I don't want to get my hopes up because like this shit could just go down. But Tom just texted me. He said go to TipRank's YouTube. I posted a new Palantir video. Okay. Where is it?
I apologize.
Is Tom Nash finally selling his Palantir stock? All right, let's watch this one. Let's see what Tom says.
Hey, this is Tom Nash, and welcome back to The Value Investor by TipRanks. Today, we're talking about Palantir. Am I fearful or am I greedy? Hang around because this is about to get interesting.
This is a good jingle. It's not too bad. Let me look at the chat real quick before we continue with this video. We're gonna hear Tom's thoughts on ultimately selling this off. As someone says, it feels slightly cultish, but who knows until you meet them. Doesn't it sound like the way WeWork employees used to talk, elevating the world? Yeah, but Palantir, bro, Palantir's actually doing something. WeWork people were like, we want to elevate the world's collective consciousness by bringing people. It's like, motherfucker, you sell real estate. Like, relax. I think Palantir's doing some different stuff. But all right, let's hear what Tom thinks.
Hey, thank you for staying with me. And look, shares of Palantir dropped more than 21% after the Q1 earnings just a couple of days ago. Palantir was not the only company selling off, as the entire market took a massive dump on investors' portfolio. But, Warren Buffett famously said, when everybody's fearful, I want to be greedy. And when everybody's greedy, I want to be fearful. And as the fear meter is hitting all new highs, I wonder if this is a time to be greedy. Now, in this video, I'll answer one simple question. How do I deal with the situation? Is now at maximum fear a good time to buy more of Palantir? Now, my bottom line is always ahead of my video, and my bottom line is quite simple. Look, I believe the market completely oversold Palantir's earnings, despite a very good quarter, objectively. And I am buying more shares of Palantir through this dip, and in this video, I'll explain why. Now look, Palantir reported revenue growth of 31% year over year, up to $446 million in the first quarter. And it's actually guiding for a 30% annual growth all the way to 2025. Commercial growth grew 54%. Government was 16%. As government contracts tend to be a little bit later down the year, but it's still growing nicely. Now what really excited me was the US commercial revenue growth, 136% year over year, and that is with a brand new 2-year-old sales force that has never ever sold enterprise software. I want you to understand this. Selling to governments and agencies is very different than selling to commercial enterprise. And I think Palantir is learning this skill very well. Now, the new salespeople aren't perfect, and they're not very experienced, and they will make mistakes. But
Someone said, Tom, you have a compressor on your voice like a DPX. Tom's voice is very crisp on this one. I'm not gonna lie. This mic, whatever he's using, it is very, very crisp. All right.
Increase of 136% year over year in the most competitive market, which is the United States enterprise software, is a very impressive achievement. Now, look, the enterprise software market is becoming Palantir's bread and butter, which is exactly what I was looking for. Not to mention the fact that they have $1.2 billion already as remaining obligations, which will be performed throughout the next few years, including a $500 million, which they will perform and bill this year in 2022. Now look, during Q1, Palantir actually added another 40 extra customers, which means the company now has 277 paying customers, which is almost 100% growth year over year from 149 clients just last year. Not to mention that the company maintained a 124% net dollar retention. And having 124% net retention means that existing clients this year are paying.
Someone says, why does he look pissed? He looks pissed because the stock price is tanking, even though he's saying all these good stats. It's like they grew 100% year over year, but he looks pissed because it's like the fucking price is like tanking. But we're up today, baby. We're up today. He's making some really good points right now.
24% more than they paid last year. Now look, even the top 20 clients spend averaged up all the way to $45 million, which is a 24% year over year increase. Now, while the top 20 clients still produce $900 million out of the company's total $1.6 billion revenues in the trailing 12 months, which is not ideal for risk management purposes. It obviously has to do with the fact that they have a lot of government business, which is very stable. So the actual risk here is not as big as just a pure enterprise business. Don't forget, half their business is still government. Now look, don't get me wrong. The company is not perfect. And while revenue grew by 31% year over year, the actual...
Boom, baby. Palantir up 11%. Not bad, man. Not bad today. Not bad.
Cash flow operating expenses grew as well. And despite the annual 3% operating expenses increase on the books, once compensation is actually neutralized, once you remove SBC, the operating margin actually dropped from 34% to 26% year over year, as marketing expenses increased by whopping 40%. G&A, general administrative, by 25%, and R&D kind of remained stable. And look, this is exactly what it takes to create a sales force. I mean, Palantir never had it before 2021.
This is the other big point, man. They did not have a sales force. They had like carp. So the fact that they actually have people in the organization now trying to figure out how to sell this thing, and they were able to grow without all that, it should put in the framework for much, much stronger growth.
And as the sales force will generate more dollars, this margin will grow. But still, we can ignore the margins getting smaller and worse. Although I truly believe that this is just a temporary occurrence. Now, another painful point for Palantir is, the stock-based compensation. I mean, which keeps coming down actually. And this quarter we saw another 25% drop in the amount of stock-based compensation, all the way from $200 to $150 million. But the most important thing was the dilution. In 2019, the company had 600 million shares. In 2020, the company already had 1 billion shares outstanding, mainly due to its choice to go the direct public offering route. I mean, the DPO is like that. I mean, the employees are the market makers, and the vast amount of the stock-based compensation that was offered was in those 2 years. But over the past year, the company did not issue any new shares. And from 2021 to 2022, Palantir stayed on just a little under 2 billion shares. I kept telling people that once the DPO was over and once the hiring of a new sales department will be done, the dilution will slow down significantly. Now you're seeing proof of exactly that. Now, the biggest macro story right now is that everybody's switching from growth to value. And of course, Palantir is clearly in the growth sector. So for this reason, and for the reasons I mentioned in this video, I believe the market completely overreacted to the earnings report and undervalues Palantir heavily, allowing me to buy more shares at around $7 per share with a very lucrative 7 times price to sales valuation. Now, of course, if you want to chat with me, if you want to ask me questions, head on over to TipRanks TV. We're going to be there talking to you every single day. The link is going to be below, and I'll see you there in just a few minutes.
So one of the things that's interesting here is that he did this before the rally, when he was saying at $7, and now, I mean, the rally is here. Not a bad rally, baby. If they released this yesterday and people bought, they would have been up 11%, so not too bad. So, I mean, yeah, now the question is, do we hold this stuff? Do we hold this? I saw some good comments in the chat. Someone says he's not emotionally attached to Palantir, he's logical. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing for me. I hope that when people, like, see me and Tom and people who talk about Palantir realize that there is not an emotional attachment, because every video is not emotional attachment, guys, is AMC or GameStop. That's emotional. Logic is making 300 something videos on my channel analyzing Palantir from like every single perspective I could think of. I mean, analyzing every little deal, analyzing every partnership, like analyzing what does that mean. That's, I think, logic. And everything that Tom said in that past videos, all I heard were numbers. Like, all I remember are numbers. I don't remember some fancy growth story about protecting Western democracy. Like, no, it's just numbers, right? So I don't think it's about emotion for any of us that are into Palantir. I think it's about logic. Now, does it suck that the price is down at 8.14? Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Like, we're seeing that. But especially when it was at 12, 13, 14. But the fact is, it's also logical to remember the macro sucks. And if the macro sucks, Palantir is going to get hit as well. So that's something to think about. So that's it. Waiting for $5 is coming. Look, I think I'm mentally prepared for Palantir to get to $3 to $4 as well. Apple's up nice today as well, because it could happen, right? Again, this rally, this little green candle, it could go away next week if, the market is super. The one thing I've learned is that they're irrational. They'll do something that they don't care. They just do whatever. Wow, SPY above 400. This is actual rally today. SPY was like 389. Now, granted, I just don't know if this is going to hold. We're going to see. If it holds and we found the bottom, oh boy, we're going up. We're going up. And we're going to see what happens. Blake Anderson, when Kathy sold, you got a bit emotional. Well, yeah, I got emotional when Kathy sold, but emotion was based on logic. I was like, why? The logic was you can't buy 6 million shares of something in 1 week and then sell it 3 weeks later. So the emotion came out because the logic wasn't there. It's like you're telling me that Palantir is a 5-year time horizon. Okay, that's logical. Second, you're telling me AI is going to be worth 85 trillion. Palantir is a big AI player that you guys have admitted to. Okay, that's logical. Third, you're putting your money where your mouth is. You're buying to the point where you had 37 million freaking shares of this thing, and then you're liquidating. That's where it's so illogical it can become emotional, right? I think that's the argument for it. So that's it. I think that's it for Morning Open. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think we got to get out of here. I got to go get a haircut. I actually am getting a haircut after this. So on Monday on Money Talks, you guys will see me a little bit more cuter, sharper, I guess you want to say. Thank you all for reaching out to me. If anyone's interested in investing in my startup, email amit@dailypalantir.com. We're finishing the raise by the end of June. Super excited with where that's going. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys enjoy it. Spend some time. Go for a walk. Try to forget about the market a little bit. Focus on your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. Spend some time with your kids, your family. Go to a beach that's nearby you. Go to a park. Like just embrace the essence of existence. Because again, we're all gonna die one day. We're all just here randomly on this planet trying to make sense of what's going on. It would be important to just enjoy some of the smaller moments in life as we get ready for the next week. So thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys a lot. 283 people being in the chat. We're kind of averaging above 250 every day. It really means the world to me. We're just trying to grow and keep doing what we got to do. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.